Got NC Gala versus Dr. Techless, Lizardmen, and High Elves. Lizardmen looks like we got Tic-Tac-Toe and a bit of an Air Force, 4 Ripper-Dactyl Riders, including the Clawstone Hunters, plus a Heavens Skink. And we have a Skink Frontline, Skink Skirmish, and some Feral Cold ones. Pretty classic. Skink Frontline. Not the rest of this. The rest of this is crazy. Okay. The Mask of Heavens, Blade of the Ancient Skies to buff up flying stuff. Got it. So he's going all in on the flying things. The Skink Priest of Heavens also has Rolling Skies, so man, he's really going for screwing over flying things. And then we have Thunderbolt and Wind Blast for clearing out infantry on the ground. Skink Skirmisher, Skink Cohorts, like we said, 2 Feral Cold ones. On the other side, for the High Elves, we have Alarielle the Radiant with Tempest, so she's also ready to mess with some flying units. Then we have Banishment, the actual spell Banishment, not a bound one, which is generally considered a very bad spell for 15 Winds of Magic. Keepers of the Flame currently getting hit with Renna's Thunderbolt. They do dodge the last second. It looks like it paid off for them, as an overcasted Tempest is hitting the Boston Hunters right now. We have a Sister of Avalorn, Smaller Sea Guard, Rangers, White Lions, Silverin Guard, Keepers of the Flame, Frontline with Warlines of Krace, Illyrian Reaver Archers, and the Fireborn Dragon Prince ROR. Man, this is like a one of everything High Elf build that makes it hard to generalize and get through their frontline. Skink Cohort's getting shot by the Sisters of Avalorn. Their shields helping them out a little bit there. The War Lions are going to just charge straight into them. And the Fireborn get a downhill charge through all the Skinks and Feral Cold ones. Should be overall good for them, but I could see them getting surrounded and messed up, especially by Ripper-Dactyls that are moving in. Looks like they are going to go for it. Landing in among the Fireborn. They will get distracted here and there by Rangers. The Clawstone Hunters are coming from the other side, so it looks like we're trying to get a full surround onto the Fireborn by various Ripper-Dactyls of all kinds. There they fly in. And we do have healing from Alarielle. She has her Heart of Avalorn, Star of Avalorn thing. It's the star. There we go. Star of Avalorn and Earthblood. I saw an Earthblood earlier. It has worn off since then, so we're now waiting for the Star of Avalorn to show up there, though she might also need it. Okay, she is chucking it down onto the Fireborn and these Rangers. That's a pretty huge heal. I mean, it's helping the Rangers stay in this fight, too. And Ripper-Dactyls are not exactly tanky, so you can see they are starting to take a good amount of damage, especially the Clawstone Hunters. The other Ripper-Dactyls are largely fine, because I think Skinks are eating most of the damage that's coming from the Rangers or anything. So far, Lizardmen doing better in this fight than I would have thought. I thought the Ripper-Dactyls would take more as the Fireborn just slowly attrition through a bunch of healing. Anyway, Skink Cohorts on the back line. Sorry, Skink Skirmishers with Feral Cold ones also running through the Sisters of Avalorn. Keepers of the Flame running forward into those rampaging Feral Cold ones who cannot free themselves. They will just die to the Elite Halberds. Fireborns still stuck fighting, though a lot of their models are over here, so they're actually decently safe. They're not as surrounded anymore. And they do have White Lions of Krace under their feet to help fight a little bit more. Like we said, the Feral Cold ones get peeled off by the Keepers of the Flame, who now have to walk through another Thunderbolt, but again, the super long cast time does mean that a lot of the Keepers of the Flame get to safety. And Tic-Tac-Toe is fighting Alarielle. If he can successfully snipe her out, that is a big win, but otherwise he is fighting alongside Ripper-Dactyl Riders directly on top of the Keepers of the Flame, so that could be not so great for him as Alarielle gets into the sky, and he is not able to, as he is instead dealing with those Keepers. Sisters of Avalorn seem pretty doomed. High Elves are down in the balance of power by a decent margin. We still have Illyrian Reaver Archers. They're currently chasing off Skink Skirmishers. They need to refocus and go into melee with some of these Skinks that are shooting them in the side. And the Fireborn have jumped in once again. Fireborn, infamous for never breaking, never retreating. And they're getting a ton of healing too, so they're probably going to heal cap soon here. We haven't seen our second Star of Avalorn yet. This is a juicy target. Fireborn, Keepers of the Flame. You can even have Alarielle hover overhead. You could have a huge Star of Avalorn onto this spot. She might be moving in for that. Not sure, but we do have Renna's Thunderbolt coming in from the Lizardmen. Could friendly fire Tic-Tac-Toe as he starts to move out of it. He should be okay. A little bit of friendly fire, but mostly focused on the Fireborn and the Keepers of the Flame. There's another Tempest onto the Clawstone Hunters. Doesn't hit the other Ripper-Dactyls just yet, so it is just taxing the Clawstone Hunters a little bit. And Alarielle dives in to finish off Tic-Tac-Toe. He has been on the Keepers of the Flame for quite a while. They've gotten some decent value on him. There he goes. Balance power is still pretty bad. Pretty bad for the High Elves. It's not over just yet. We have the Star of Avalorn. There it is. And it is the nice 3-for-1 plus an Earthblood. So huge healing here. for the High Elves, helping out their Fireborn, helping out Alariel the Radiant. Right when they needed it. Now, Star of Avalon is going to take a long time to heal up, and Alariel might have difficulty staying in the circle. No, she kills Tic-Tac-Toe, so she shouldn't have to decide between the two. But, ooh, that is going to be a nasty Thunderbolt. They're not trying to dodge. Yeah, that is a nasty Thunderbolt. Definitely needed to dodge that, but I don't think they saw it. With the Star of Avalon happening and all those units crammed in the same area, I don't know if they saw the circle. That was a big Thunderbolt cast. I honestly would not be shocked if that was half the value this mage has gotten in the time, was that one Thunderbolt. We have a bunch of tattered units, but we still have two very healthy skinks over there. Half health Ripperdactyl here, full health one over there, and a pretty healthy caster. For the High Elves, we have the Fireborn, who are nearly heal capped, Keepers of the Flame, who are nearly heal capped, and Alariel, who is also nearly heal capped. Fireborn should easily be able to destroy these Feral Cold Ones. They're already injured, and they're pretty pathetic compared to the Elite Fireborn, but looks like they're just massed to hold the Fireborn in place while the Ripperdactyl Riders move in. We get another Thunderbolt cast, though the Keepers of the Flame are going to dodge this one. Larry might not. Larry takes a little bit of damage there. Fireborn almost dead. Keepers of the Flame just trying to grind through. There are a bunch of skirmish skinks that can get some decent damage onto the Keepers of the Flame. They have physical resistance, however, 40% physical resistance and 110 armor. I think Larry helps with that, right? She has something where if you're near her, you get physical resistance. Oh, just 10. So yeah, they have 30 on their own. That could save them from all the darts. We can see the Fireborn beat up two Feral Cold Ones, got rid of some skinks. Ripperdactyls trying to cycle charge in and out, in and out, in and out. In which case they will stay very tanky. And the Fireborn just about out of leadership, down to 0 there. They finally rout at 200 HP left. Looks like they are just going to die. I doubt they'll be able to come back ever. And Larry continues to harass the Ripperdactyl Riders. At this point, any Winds of Magic she has left should not go into Earthbloods. They should go into Tempests. You got to take out these Ripperdactyls. You got to just slowly whittle them down with Tempests. If you have any Winds of Magic left. Going for a bit of an Earthblood, I guess it's not terrible, but you're going to be heal capped pretty soon. I would have preferred that. Go towards taking down the Ripperdactyls. As now Skink Skirmishers are going to use all their ammo on the last of these little guys, Keepers of the Flame and Larry. Looks like they're trying to shoot Larry. Honestly, I would recommend shooting the Keepers of the Flame. Just because Larry can't beat your Ripperdactyls or anything like that. The Keepers of the Flame might. Okay. I'm going to fast forward a little bit as it looks like we are just going to use all of our ammo on them. There we go. Larry started to dodge a little bit. In comes another Thunderbolt. Does a little bit of damage, but I'm not sure which side it did more damage to be honest. Balance of Power is turning against the High Elves even further. As this Heavens caster has just been left alone, but I get it. Alariel doesn't feel like she can separate away from the Keepers of the Flame without getting murdered by Ripperdactyls and whatnot. Another Earthblood out. But again, like, I have to insist, I feel like a Tempest would have been better. Also, did anybody just see that Earthblood affected Larry and not the Keepers of the Flame? Or that was weird looking. You know, that it was just really short. Skink cohorts, skirmishers, I always do that. Skink skirmishers still have a decent amount of ammunition, not a ton. The Heavens caster throws himself to the wolves to break the Phoenix Guard's charge defense so that the Ripperdactyls can land back in here. But Larry does get a really good shot onto the Skink Priest of Heavens, who is going to rout any second now. The Keepers of the Flame still getting a lot of damage out. He throws one more Thunderbolt, which honestly, when I charged straight in there to die, I thought he was out of Winds of Magic. It's interesting he still had a cast left. Gets really good damage on that last Thunderbolt, honestly. Keepers of the Flame heal capped down to 30 models. Larry very low and heal capped as well. And the Skink's still firing in. One of them randomly shatters. Just because, I guess. Screw this fight. Balance Power is getting really bad. But the Keepers of the Flame have held this long. Army Loss is going to take him out. Yeah. Oh. Spam Tempest. Undercast, too. I think the Undercast is actually better than the Overcast, Winds of Magic wise. And then, obviously, never bring Banishment. Banishment's a terrible spell to bring. When it's bound and it's free, it's fine, but 15 or 16 Winds of Magic for that spell is not worth it at all. Ripperdactyls did all right. Fireborn, the Keepers of the Flame did very well for the High Elves. GG's. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.